Today on Drawbli, Abby is drawing...
This portrait of a girl wearing beautiful earrings.
Click that subscribe button if you're new around here.
And comment below if you know where I can buy those earrings.
And share some of your earrings online with the hashtag Drawbli.
So, Ben, I drew this portrait in one morning in one sitting.
In one morning, in one sitting?
And then I was like, I'm tired of this. Benjamin, will you work on it now?
And then I did work on it for like 10 to 15 minutes at the very end.
That's okay. I spent an hour and a half on it.
Oh, nice. Wow. You did a lot here in an hour and a half.
Yeah, I think that felt like a good sign of some improvement to feel like, oh, this normally might have been like 4 hours for me. And granted, it's not like a stunning, finished, polished piece, but to be able to get as far as I did in that amount of time felt good.
All right, we got to talk about your lines, because your lines are so good.
Thank you.
How are your lines always so cool?
Well, part of it is you have to use the right brushes.
Oh.
And I genuinely believe that.
Oh. What brushes?
This is just one brush from the Ahmed Al-Douri MedMabs course pack.
Oh my gosh, that brush is so expensive.
It's so expensive, but we got it for free because we bought his course.
That sentence makes zero logical sense. We got it for free because we bought it.
It was included in. Kitu. I think I learned a Japanese for included in recently.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I think it was Kitu.
Oh.
Or Tsuki. I don't know. Obviously, I didn't learn it that well.
Yeah. I believe it's maybe Tsuki.
Yeah.
Maybe,
I like this brush because you can get a lot of...
You like this brush, yeah.
It lends itself well to like a controlled chaos. You can taper really easily with it. It's very pressure sensitive.
Which brush in his pack are you using? Do you remember the name of it?
No, it's like sample brush something.
It's got like a bristle-esque nature to it.
I love that natural texture. I think that's important. And if you touch softly with it on the side, it's perfect for like very smooth shading. I don't know
What do you mean on the side? Like tilt the pen?
Yeah, see how on her earring where it's like just a soft gray?
Yeah.
That's that same pen versus like the harsh scratches on her bottom of her hair and her dress. Can you believe that's the same pen?
I can. So the Apple Pencil, for those that don't know, you can tilt the brush and make it have a different effect for the pen, which is so cool.
Yeah.
Yet, I hate that feature.
Oh,
I turn it off for every brush.
Oh, really?
So in pencil brushes, how you can tilt it on the side and it does like a shading instead of a line? I hate that because I constantly like when I'm drawing, all of a sudden it'll do that. And I'm like, I didn't want it to do that.
You gotta lend yourself to the opportunity of happy accidents, Benjamin.
Maybe I should go back. Maybe I should try it again.
Yeah, you're not a happy accidents person yet in your workflow.
Oh.
You are, I always have said, in another life you'd be an architect. You'd be very careful.
In your weird fantasy.
It's not a fantasy. It's an evaluation of your personality and self.
That's rude.
It's not rude. It's real.
You know what? In another life, you would have been a clown.
That is not true.
It's an evaluation of your personal self and your disposition.
But architect, that has some complementarianism.
Clowns are funny.
Clowns are funny. And
They bring joy to people.
I actually, in another life, if I'd known about it when I was younger, I probably would have loved to work for the Cincinnati Circus. You juggle, you walk on stilts.
Look at that. I nailed it.
I know, you actually did. I think that would be a lot of fun. I wouldn't necessarily wear the traditional clown makeup. I'd be like a pretty clown.
A pretty clown.
Yeah, I'd be pretty.
Of course.
I would want to be pretty.
I love your drawing so far. It looks so good.
Thank you.
How do you go about adding color to this?
Very simply, I decide I'm going to shade it in grayscale vaguely.
I think that's a smart technique.
And then overlay a broad overall color, and then take the overlay of like redness back out of areas where I don't want it, such as the hair and the dress and the eyes.
Oh, cool.
And just erase it back out.
The idea of doing black and white first is very appealing to me because it's so much easier than the alternative. There's just so much going on when you have to worry about the hue and saturation all at the same time.
Yeah.
It's rough.
Yeah. And then once you've got your basic like color on, you can go in with like a paint and do more to it. You don't have to just like stick with whatever the overlay does for you.
The shading on your reference is so subtle, it's kind of hard to actually tell where the shadows like are on the face and where the light source is coming from. But I believe it's coming from up and to the right slightly, but I can't see, you're kind of zoomed out right now, so it's hard to see the reflection in the eye. But that's normally the key light, I should say, and also the key way to find out where that is.
Oh, I see. Oh, that's good. I don't know much about lighting and key lights and all that stuff.
But you know, like, just like the main light, where the main light is and where it's positioned, so you can figure out how the shadows would fall on the face.
I'd like to learn more about that. Yeah, the traditional like setup of the 3 lights, the key light and the other 2 lights.
Well, that's not necessarily how this portrait is lit. There might just be 1 or 2 lights here.
That's true.
I can't see your reference though. It's covered up in blue.
Who needs reference? We're going outside the lines now, baby.
Drawn outside the lines. I like these earrings. These are very cool.
They are very beautiful, and I would love to own a pair, but that's okay if I never do. Sometimes it's the pursuit of a thing more than the actual obtaining of it.
The obtaining of it,
Yeah.
yes. So you specifically asked me to work on this and your other portrait. I only had 10 minutes to spare.
You
so-
did. I offered because I enjoyed working on one of your portraits a while ago.
And I enjoyed working on this for the 10 to 15 minutes that I did.
Yes, and I'm not even slightly offended that I spent 45 minutes on your portrait and you spent 10 on mine.
Well,
I'm just kidding.
would
I
love
don't
to work
care.
on one of yours more.
Yeah.
I
thought you just
so
think it was
busy.
fun. I just thought it was fun.
It was fun.
I would have let it, I was happy to let it sit where it was, but I loved getting your fresh eyes onto it, and I loved seeing what you did with it. I think you helped boost it to an improved level for sure. In 10 minutes, you made a good amount of difference.
I did very little, but it is nice to get those fresh eyes. I wanted to ask you, why did you want me to work on this? Was there something specific that you were really struggling with? Because the time I asked you, I was really struggling with the perspective of the face. It was actually a very similar pose, if you remember. She was looking up, but it was a little more extreme, and I just couldn't get the features positioned correctly.
Oh, I struggled with the features on this too. I think for me, what I didn't like where I was with this was how muddy it felt to me. A lot of the areas felt gray, and so I kept trying to push red back into it with like an overlay and lowering the opacity on that. But it still was feeling very, very like muddy, and the brush strokes didn't feel clean and painterly. They felt just not right.
Just
to me.
not right.
Not right. But obviously, if I can't even articulate what was not right about them,
That's
I
correct.
don't have the ability to fix it and identify it. So.
That is an excellent point. Yeah, that's why it's really helpful to get some outside perspective.
Yeah.
Hopefully after I worked on it, was there anything in particular you noticed?
I definitely noticed that you opened the eye on the right a little bit for me, which was helpful because I just was a little tired of it and it needed to be opened. It's got kind of like a scuff across it right now that just detracts from how this all looks.
And is this me right here now?
This is you right here now. Yeah. So this is your 10 minutes of fame. Everybody gets, or your, what do they call it? Your 10 seconds.
It's my celeb shot.
Yeah. I like that you cleaned up the ear, which I hopelessly left scratchy and muddy.
I didn't do
you
a ton
simplified
to it.
You simplified it.
Yeah, I wanted to. The lip color was actually quite difficult for me to play around with because the surrounding color that you had for your face was actually closer to the lip color than the actual reference, and it was conflicting with that, so I had to change the color of the lips to make it feel correct, even though it's not actually correct. Because I sampled the lip color and I painted it on your face. I was like, wait, hold on a second. That's the actual skin tone.
Oh yeah, I definitely don't have the tones matched at
Which
all.
is fine.
Yeah,
It
I wasn't worried
doesn't-
about that.
Doesn't matter really at
Yeah.
all. But yeah, I tried to apply some contrast here to a few different elements, and then just kind of frame up things a little more cleanly. One thing that you do when you are shading is you paint very lightly, and because of that, some of the background will blend through. You can see that happening in the arms, in the shoulders a little bit. So I went through and kind of added some solid
That's
paint strokes
true.
behind a couple of those areas.
I do that, and I only realized my mistake once I tried to change the background. That I'm like, oh
Yes,
no.
it can ruin a painting.
That's why sometimes I remember to block in the whole silhouette with like gray and paint on that.
That is what I do.
But I often forget.
Yeah. Sometimes after the fact, what you can do is take your background color, that blue, fill that in a new layer behind it. This is what I often do. And then merge that with your painting just so you have that solid paint there.
That's a good idea.
But yeah, there was, 10 minutes at the end. Sorry I didn't spend more time on it.
I'm not worried. I love what you did with it. I love our combined work on portraits. We should definitely do more of this in the future.
We absolutely should.
Yeah.
It is a ton of fun.
It's so
I really
fun.
enjoy doing it.
And if you like to have a ton of fun, hit that subscribe button.
And if you don't like to have a ton of fun, you should leave.
And comment below with ideas of how we can have tons of fun.
Yeah, leave and comment below. And this is the part where we say
Goodbye.
Goomba.
Do you think people will share their artwork online with the hashtag Drawbli if we don't remind them to at the end?
I mean,
Do you think
they haven't done it yet, so...
They might be doing it. I'm just really bad at looking at
They
the
might be
Instagram.
doing it, and they might not be doing it, but we have no way to tell.
Just none. There's
I
no way.
I wish there was a way we could tell.
Yeah, I wish so too.